why is it important to set the boundaries or reset the boundaries? And I'm getting to family, but I want to make sure we lay the groundwork. But why is it important to establish boundaries to begin with?
I think that the hard part, or like, it's important to set them because like everyone has already said, the boundaries set the tone for how the relationship is going to go, like, how I want to be treated, like, how I navigate and live life. But like you said, that the boundaries will also change as well too, which sometimes is the hard part, and like, what makes it hard for us to set them, because once they shift or once they're set, they are affecting other people. Our boundaries do
Right.
affect the people we are in a relationship with, and then they have to adjust as well. And sometimes that can be difficult to people to adjust to new boundaries. It could be
Mm-hmm.
something as small as saying that we have brunch every Sunday, and then suddenly I say, I don't want to leave the house on Sundays anymore. That affects you because, like, that was our time. And people have the ability to say, okay, that affects me. I'm like, I'm not mad about it, but okay, now I have to adjust that this is, like, your new boundary. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
fear in that sometimes of us implementing a boundary that someone can't handle. If we have issues with abandonment, or we have issues with with rejection, I'd rather not implement the boundary because I don't want to rock the boat. And then, like, you get mad at me and then I lose the relationship and so forth and so on. And but, like, also, like, recognizing what that looks like when we do have to change and implement boundaries as well too.
That's good. That's good. So I can set the boundary and I can change my mind and reset the boundary, recognizing that it may impact whether the other person wants to continue to engage in the relationship. And that's scary. And that may be in part why sometimes we don't set those boundaries. So she introduced the the fear part, perhaps, of why. What are some other reasons that we don't set boundaries?
Expectations. I think boundaries are expectations. And when we are younger, I'll just say we're younger and we're kind of less confident. We tend to accept more. And then, but that's setting the expectation for that person. Oh, they're going to accept this. They're going to accept that. They're going to accept this. And then as we get older, as Charmaine was talking about, we start pushing that boundary further and further out because we gain that confidence and that self-love that says, you know what, I'm not going to take that anymore. But that does have an impact on that person that has been used to taking from you, used to overstepping that boundary, used to
Mm-hmm.
coming to you and getting you to do whatever they want you to do. And all of a sudden you say no, and you find that one word sentence of no. And then, oh, all of a sudden they start feeling, and now you've got feelings and all this other stuff that come into play. And you're really just saying, okay, I love myself enough to
Mm.
push you back. And
Mm-hmm.
you got to be okay with that. If you care about me as you say you do, then you accept the new boundary instead of just reacting and saying, "Oh, you're not the same. You don't change," and all the stuff that people say when you just set a firm boundary that says, "I love me enough to set this boundary."